an extra office and saying, okay, everybody come in and I'll tell you how to do this. You're not going to get that with the state. So I know as a small business owner, I know as working for small business owners for many years and having them as clients, there are going to be some who are listening right now going, I do not have time to deal with that and have somebody come in and explain it and do this. Right now I am swamped and it's just one more thing the government is making me do. So I'm just going to default to their program because I don't want to pay the fine and I don't have time to do this. But 6 months down the line, there might be time and now you're stuck in this program. So before they mandate something, what is the easiest way for them to get into an individual program with someone like yourself so they can avoid getting stuck in a state program where they are going to decide all the terms forever? It's going to change. All these things do. And then you put government in front of it, it's going to change. So business owners want to have some autonomy over these things, but they also don't, if they're forced to do it and they're busy, how do you get them started so they don't have to just default to the state if that's not what's really best for them?
Yeah, that's a good question. So usually what I ask for is most businesses have some sort of payroll system, either it's, in-house through spreadsheets or whatever. So I'll say, especially now you can say, okay, give me your 2021 census. Just give me, which is a list of all your employees. I don't need socials or anything yet. Your employees, even if you just want to give me last names, maybe their ages, compensation for last year. And then I can look at that and say, you know what, you've got a lot of turnover here. You've got a lot of low income folks. Maybe the state program is good for you. And then, you can kind of move up from there. So usually the census is the first thing I look at, and whatever program they're in. Again, this time of year, it's perfect because they probably have that file anyway for some other purpose. I can say, just send me your census on a secure link and I'll come up with something that might make sense. And usually in that file will be some sort of owner's compensation as well. So if you have an owner who's, and from running your business, sometimes when you started your business, you didn't make any money, but you still might have employees. So you could say, okay, well, in this business, it's not a goal of the owner to save a bunch of money because they're not making a lot anyway. Whereas a more mature business, you might have a high income business owner. And then you say, well, the state program is great, but you make too much money to be involved in it anyway. So you're going to set up something for your employees that you can't participate in. So the census will give me a lot of information, and that's real simple for an employer to send, and then I'll kind of analyze that. And then I'll just say, what are your goals for the plan? And I'll ask them to be honest. I'll say, is it to help your employees, or is it to help you personally save a lot and maybe you don't give a darn about your employees? Or maybe it's a high turnover business where they just don't have that kind of relationship, and that's okay too. So we'll have those kind of conversations, and then usually it's a fairly straightforward process to set up from there. We just kind of go through some fee structures, and one of the concerns sometimes is how much is this going to cost, and this is one where there's a couple of levers you can pull. You can say, well, you know what, your employees can pick up some of the charges, or you can pay for them yourselves, or you can kind of split it with them, or do whatever. So you can kind of come up with a plan. And a lot of times the employers, because of the tax credit, they'll have to pay some fees, but then they'll get it back with the tax credit. And then the employees will have enough balance to support the fees and whatever. But yeah, long story short, I would say just send me a census, send me your list of your employees and what they made last year and the ages.
So they can make an educated decision before just dumping into the default, because it's easier and it's going to get taken care of. So you're saying you can take care of it just as well as the government can, right? And they don't have to try to call a government line every time an employee has a question. Think about that time what your staff has to do. Yeah, I don't know what this means. Can we please call? And then they have to call, and then they don't understand. You can come in every year and explain it. And that's the benefit to having a local advisor. Absolutely.
Right. And the F word in our business is the fiduciary word, right? Which so what that means is, certain people in our industry, like I talked about before, who don't sell products, like it's just our job to help and consult and put the clients in the best position and operate in the best interest of the client. Even though the state they have their own program, somebody's not going to come to the state and the state's going to say, you know what, you really should have a program. The state program isn't right for you. Like there's nobody equipped at the state to handle that, or they're not going to be able to put them in another direction. Whereas going through somebody like me who's working in their best interest might say, you know what, you're better off in the state program. I'll help you set it up. And, if you need me to check on it in a year or whatever, we'll do something, an hourly billing arrangement or something just to get you set up. So, going through somebody who's working in your best interest, you still may end up in the state program, but at least you've got somebody who checked the box and said, yeah, you know what, you're doing the right thing.
Right, exactly. And you're not going to be worried about it down the line. And as you said, they can always change it down the line and start there.
Sure.
And as their business grows or as they have less turnover, again, with all the stuff going on with employment right now while we're recording this, and having so much trouble hiring, having this benefit to list in your Indeed or your ZipRecruiter is a great thing. And everyone's going to have to do it eventually. But if you can say to someone who actually wants to know about benefits and wants to know what they're going to get, you can say, we have somebody local, we've got our own plan that we work on. I think anyone who cares about their retirement is really going to react to that positively. It looks like you care about it. It is, because does it look, I would say it looks like you care about your employees. I mean, maybe that's all you care
I
about.
fooled another one.
I've fooled another one, and they're going to stay on for 6 weeks before they figure it out. No, I think that it's important to not just have that appearance, but actually, have a benefit for them, whether somebody else is dealing with it for you or not. So if you're in Connecticut, to call Brian. And if you're outside of Connecticut, then you can only work within Connecticut, correct? So
No, I can work outside of
you can.
states. So
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
So most states will let you have up to 5 clients before you register in that state. So
All right. So 5 people from every state, call Brian right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then after that, I just need to register with the state. So not a big
Yeah.
deal.
That's good. Okay. That's good to know, because I did not know that. And
Mhm.
that's really good information to have. So tell people how they can reach you. How can we get a hold of Brian at Northshire?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the first thing is just to check out the social media stuff. Not great on Instagram, and I don't do any TikTok videos yet, but could be coming. But yeah, I mean, join the Facebook group, check out the YouTube channel, just kind of get a feel for that stuff. And if you want to reach out directly, just like you, I have the Calendly. That's such a tough word to say.
No, Calendly.
Yeah. I always leave out a few L's, but yeah, so I do have that link right on the website, and there's a couple different options you can pick from. You can pick just a 15-minute chat, or if you're a small business owner or whatever. But if you pick the wrong one, it's going to be fine. So try to be flexible there. I do throw on some Sundays once a month. I do have some evening appointments available. So, again, just kind of meeting people where they are. That's all. So, no
how many
cost
times? Oh, no cost, no obligation. Right.
Yeah, I know. I hate that phrase, but just want to make sure. Although that's actually something that I've considered, putting a nominal fee on that initial consultation, just to make sure I, kind of make sure that people are serious, and then say and then if you do become a client, I'll take that off your fee later on. But something I've considered, but not there yet.
It's always something we go back and forth on service businesses. That initial consultation, mine is still free, but you don't want to waste any time past that. We don't want to waste our clients' time either.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the name of your YouTube channel?
401k and Beyond. And that's the same thing as our Facebook group. Also Instagram as well.
Okay. And the website is northshireconsulting.com.
Correct.
And It's Brian Williams.
It is.
It is. Did you know that?
I
just wanted
did.
to remind you. So,
And now that the news guy is kind of retired, I'm back to reclaim my spot.
I know. Every time I see that, I think he must get that all the time.
Yeah.
So, but hey, that helps your searches, right?
Sure.
I don't think it really does. Okay. Well, thank you for talking with me today and talking with the audience. I think you brought some really, really good information. I hope people will reach out to you to ask those dumb questions, because for you, they are not dumb questions. I will probably call you about dumb questions, because God knows I don't know all the stuff I should know. And we'll hopefully have you back on again soon with new questions and new information as your YouTube and your Facebook group grow, because those are great things, and those are where people should be right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
So thank you for being here with me.
Yeah, no problem. Good stuff.
Whew, another great episode, another great conversation. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. And I hope we brought some value, a smile, and an aha moment to you with this episode. If you head over to my website, lizacivicmarketing.com, you can also join me at my next workshop, How to Make Your Marketing Do More in Less Time, geared toward six-figure business owners, or those who want to be, who want to show up higher in Google results and get more marketing bang for their buck. Come find out how, plus tips and tricks on making your marketing more Google friendly in this workshop. You can register at lizacivicmarketing.com or via our social media links. See you next time.
You've been listening to Marketing Myths and Magic, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can catch this podcast as well as the rest of the network at exvadio.com/podcasts, as well as the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts.